All right. It's a board game show, Carla. You know what that means?
We're going to talk about board games?
Yes. And we're also going to play a board game. Or a game. So we've got the Did You Know game is the game we're going to be playing tonight. Presented by our friends at Game Toppers LLC. So, Steve, do you want to tell Carla?
No, okay. not particularly. No. So you designed this, and you acknowledged already that you've played these card games while you were skipping classes. At the same time as now saying you did ChatGPT to make up this game. No. I am disavowing. I'll play the game, but I'm not explaining this thing, man.
Steve's no longer part of the show. He does not want to be associated with the show. So we played. This is like the fourth time we played this game this season. But the Did You Know game is a game where I'm going to throw out some questions that I had ChatGPT research because I'm a moron and I was too lazy to do my own research. So I'm not vouching for these answers. So these are the answers provided by ChatGPT. But I'm going to ask a series of questions. I got 5 questions for you, for the three of y'all. You're going to take turns, okay? And I'm going to ask the question, and the person that I'm asking, I'll direct it to one person, and they'll have to come up with the answer. And you want us to believe you that you really, really know this, okay? And if you know the answer to it and you get it right, that's 1 point. If the other two, if they believe you and they go with you and you're right, they'll get 1 point. But if they correctly guess that you don't know what you're talking about and they think you're wrong, they'll get 2 points for doing that. So there's an incentive to challenge what the authority is for the person that is asking. And then we'll total up the points, and Steve is going to keep track of those. All right. Carla, do you feel like you understand the rules of the game?
Yep. Let's go for it.
We're going to start with you, Carla. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 1 for the Did You Know game. Now, we know, Carla, and by the way, these questions are all perfectly fit for you, okay? So we know that the Okapi looks very similar to zebras. Okapi being the standard bearer of your company, right?
Yep.
We know they look very similar to zebras, right? But did you know, Carla, that they're actually related to a different animal? They're not technically related to the zebras. Carla Kopp, which animal is it? I started with an easy one.
Yeah, I mean, that's super easy. It's the giraffe.
All right, Steve and Verla. Steve's going to go first and Verla. Is she telling the truth? Does she know what she's talking about? The owner of Weird Giraffe Games.
She knows what she's talking about. I'm with Carla.
All right, Steve's with Carla.
She absolutely knows what she's talking about.
That's okay. No hesitation there at all. Okay, yes, that's right. The animal is a giraffe. Closely related to the giraffe, not the zebra, even though it has stripes, right, Carla?
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Question number 2. This one's for Steve. So, Steve, we learned that they're not related, but they do look like zebras, right? I mean, they do have the stripes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But did you know that the Okapi are not the same height as zebras? So, Steve, which one is taller, zebras or Okapis?
Zebras or Okapis?
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
I would say the Okapis are taller. I thought you were going to go giraffes or Okapis because giraffes are taller than Okapis, but I think Okapis are taller than zebras.
Yeah, that would have been pretty obvious, I think, the giraffes.
Yep.
So, okay, so I got confused there. Between zebras and Okapis, your answer is?
Okapis are taller. They might not be as long from front to back as zebras are, but I think they are more vertical.
Very convincing, Verla. Do you agree with him? He's very convincing here. You do? Yeah, you do.
I think he's right.
Carla, is that right? Is Steve right? The Okapis are generally taller than zebras?
Yeah, generally.
I just want to remind you that you get 2 points if you say he's wrong and you're right.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Okapis. Okay. I don't think I've seen them like next to zebras, but like I've seen them.
So yes, Steve is correct. The Okapi is generally taller than the zebra, but not by much, only by about a half of a foot. By a half a foot.
Really?
If ChatGPT
only a half of a foot.
If ChatGPT is to be believed. All right, Verla, it's up to you. Question number 3. All right. So
what do we got?
We know they have stripes. We know they're related to giraffes. We know they're a little taller. What else do we know about them? Well, we know that Okapi are very secretive and elusive animals, often called the elusive unicorn of the forest. Now that I should have probably checked to make sure ChatGPT had that right. That's what GBT says. But how long have we known about Okapis. They're secretive. How long have we known about them? Were they discovered by the Western world in the 18th, 19th, or 20th century? Verla.
18th.
18th century. And why do you say
18th
18th century?
Because haven't you seen them in all the games about, hunting and the safaris and the Okapis?
Very, very true. That's very convincing, Carla. She's got, I'm believing her.
What was that game? Encyclopedia? Isn't it in that one?
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Pretty sure
Carla?
that was 18th century.
Verla says 18th century.
I think the 20th century.
So you think Verla's wrong?
I think it's wrong. Yeah.
Okay. 20th century.
We don't have to pick it right. We just have to say whether we agree with Verla.
You have to agree with Verla or
not.
But Carla's going one further and saying, Steve.
Carla's calling her shot.
20.
Carla says Verla's not just wrong, she's this wrong.
Also, we have to even if we know the facts, it's like, what does ChatGPT think the answer is?
I'm not vouching for this, right? You got to think about what ChatGPT thinks about it. Good point.
Copies were invented by Daryl in the 21st century.
And Jumbo, you keep leaving Jumbo out, and he's an important part of Gumbo.
Not as important as Daryl.
Well, also, but they gave up afterwards and just started calling you Gumbo Guy. So I think, yeah. I have no idea, but I think I have a 2/3 shot if I disagree with Verla. So I'm just going to try disagree with Verla. You get messed up by going against the Overlord.
But if you go with the Overlord, you're going to pick up 3 points on Carla, though.
I won't pick up 3 points on Carla.
Well,
will Carla lose 2 points if she's wrong?
No, but she didn't get 2 points. So I guess you don't pick up 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you say
I think I'm going to stand with Carla, anti-Verla on this one. It's one of the only times you'll ever hear me say that.
Wow, Steve.
I'm sorry, babe.
I thought it was a rule, Verla, that he has to go with the Gumbo Overlord. But in this case, the rule would have been wrong. Verla, it was the early 20th century.
Wow, she got 20th right
too.
Well, Carla said, I think you said the early 20th century, right, Carla?
She did.
Man.
Yeah, which is really surprising because they're larger than a zebra.
By about a half a foot.
Yeah, but he specifically said the Western world, so people knew that they exist, but it was the Europeans and stuff that were like, "Whoa, this is brand new."
Yeah,
this never happened until they saw it.
Steve, this was this was like any of those test prep software questions.
Yeah,
I threw that part in as a specific clue, the Western world, not when they were discovered. So, all right. Okay. Question number 4 goes back to Carla. Ready, Carla? Okay.
Are you ready?
All right. Our friends, the Okapi, they only make an appearance in Reef and Ruins, which is out on Kickstarter, by the way, and it's already funded. So check that out on Kickstarter.com. Check it out right there on our Facebook.
Solid sucking up to the guest, BJ. That's exactly. Beautifully done.
Our friends, the Okapi, only make an appearance in Reef and Ruins on the artwork for the publisher, not in any other part of the game that I could see. But that's okay. Another animal is featured prominently in the game, the otter. You probably know that otters are playful animals. But did you know, K-N-E-A-U-X, by the way, Carl? No, K-N-E-A-U-X. Yeah. That they are very social animals too. In fact, many otter species live in groups. I told you the question started easy and they get tougher. What are the groups of otters called? No hints.
Okay. Well, I know that most groups of animals, they have the same letter. There's a flamboyance of flamingos. There's it's like a rampart of rhinos or something. So obviously it would be something that starts with O.
And it's not what the right answer is. It's what ChatGPT thinks is the right answer.
I think it would know that the letters stay the same. So I'm just trying to think of words that start with O. There's order or ordinance. Yeah.
She's definitely convinced me that she knows the answer, Steve.
Dude, you're not giving her a choice of 3 things.
I am not.
This is cruel.
I started easy.
She had the easiest
question in the world.
Yeah, I mean that
Wow.
was very easy.
They've gotten progressively harder. And we have one.
I guess ordinance, like, because there's so many of them that all like start with the same letter. Like, because I don't know if you know this, I also have a series of games. Like, there's Surplus of Sloths and Flock Ton of Flamingos, and like they have the. So I've like looked at all the names like a lot. And ordinance is for at least one of them. It might be for some sort of bird, but I'll go with that.
I will make it easy on Steve and Verla. I'm going to give her both order or ordinance. Okay.
Okay.
So is Carla right? Carla, by the way, the designer of a whole bookshelf series of games about animals. Is she right? Order or ordinance of otters? Steve, to you.
Man, you're just making it. I don't
I mean,
know.
what else would it be?
A lotter of otters?
They're all alliteration, so
Yeah.
A lot of otters.
I just think there's so many words out there that even if you're giving her two, the odds are better to say no. But it should be an ordinance of otters. I'm going to say no, it's not, though.
Steve's going to say no. Verla, I'm disappointed. Steve said no.
yeah.
Verla can disagree with me.
You make it even more sad because I agree with Steve. I think it's a great guess. I think it's a great guess, and it should be called that.
And Verla shames me by supporting me with this one when I just went against her on the last one. You're going to both get points and credibility and love from the audience by not being the jerk who went against their friend. I'm sorry.
Hey, who's the true friend here?
All right.
That
So
would be you.
what's
the answer, BJ?
called?
What does Chat GPT say?
So ChatGPT says the answer is not order or ordinance. It is a raft. I looked it up just because I wanted to know. I just wanted to know. And I probably would have accepted these others. According to Santa Barbara Zoo, they can be called a family, a lodge, or a romp. But river otters in particular are known as a raft of river otters, which goes back to what Carla was saying with the alliteration.
Yeah, river otters.
River otters.
You can see it.
I went with the wrong letter.
Yep.
I like order and ordinance, though.
I like ordinance.
I did too.
I think that's
like what's the name for sea otters? Because that's for river otters, and reefs and ruins has sea otters.
I'm kind of curious now. Sea otters.
Well, they would have to be a more impressive seaworthy craft if they're going out to sea.
A group of resting sea otters are called a raft.
Okay.
Yep. That's what.
Some animals, depending on what they're doing, they have a different name. Like ducks have like 5 different names depending on like if they're flying or if they're just sitting on the like riverbed or if they're like actually swimming. Like when they're swimming, they're paddling.
A raft. I like that idea though. A raft of otters. That just seems like it's an interesting way. All right, we only have one question left. So this is for all 3 of you.
Okay.
And this is my favorite one because I'm going to give you a list of words and you're going to rank them. Okay. So this is the rank them portion of this. I asked ChatGPT to give me the 5 most common names given to pet otters in order of popularity. Okay. And you're going to have to rank
Pet otters?
Pet.
Okay.
Pet. I guess I was bored during lunch. Pet otters. What are the 5 most common names for pets? Isn't that like a pretty typical thing you Google?
Sure.
You know? What are the most common? I didn't think about that. 5 most common names for pet otters in order of popularity. But here's the trick, Carla. I've randomized the names. So I'm going to give them to you one at a time, but you have to rank them from 1 to 5 based only on the ones I've given you one at a time. So you have to slot them. But you won't know what the other 4 are yet. You just have to slot them. Okay. Are we ready? Do we understand? So you're writing down, you'll take a piece of paper and you're going to write down from 1 to 5. You'll slot the 5 names that I give you, but I'm going to give them to you one at a time. And you got to commit to one of those spaces. Okay.
Let's do it.
And this is worth 72 points, right?
7 million points if you can get them right.
Okay.
No, it's going to be worth 1 point if you get the name in exactly the right position.
Okay.
So you can get up to 5 points if you get them all right.
Gotcha.
So what are the points right now, by the way, going into this final round?
I'm looking at this now. Carla has 4. Verla has 4. I have 6.
Ooh, it's anybody's game.
Anybody's game.
So I don't have to do the 7,000 points. It's anybody's game. You're going to have to win this on your own.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So I asked ChatGPT to give me the 5 most common names for pet otters in order of popularity. Here they are in random order. The first one, Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you slot Luna? 1 to 5. Write it down. And we're on the honor system, obviously. We're on the otter system.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got mine.
An honor of otters. That would have been a cool name, right? An honor of otters.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So number 2. I love this name. Nibbles. No, Nibbles. Nibbles. I love the idea of having a pet otter named Nibbles.
I would think that the otter would do more than nibble, because like that's a wild animal. Like
otters are also pretty. Otters are jerks.
Well, did you guys see in the news like a month or so ago, a toddler got pulled into the water in Washington State by a river otter?
Yes.
No.
Otters are awful. They're awful. They
rescued the child. It was okay. Scratched up. But...
Should we just cancel the game? Brought me down there for a second. Yeah. Nibbles, don't do that to my son.
Yeah, train Nibbles not to pull children underwater.
Yes. My son away from
yes.
Me. I love my son. All right, so we have Nibbles slotted.
I have,
all right,
number
3.
Nibbles.
Ollie the otter.
Ooh.
It's a tough game, Carla.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because you don't know, like, if the next one's just going to be like Tyrone
Bob.
or something.
Perfect. Yes.
Jumbo or Daryl.
Yes.
All right, number 4. Otto the otter. Oh, man. By the way, I asked ChatGPT to randomize them, Steve, because I didn't want to mess with you guys. So it's good at things like that, like randomizing words. So the last one, are we ready?
Yep.
Yes.
The last one is Sandy the river otter.
What? Emmett is not in this list.
Emmett is
Emmett,
in this list.
This is unacceptable.
Yes.
Okay.
There's also no Carlotta. There needed to be a Carlotta.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. Yep.
Or Carlotta.
All right, so are y'all ready for the list?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 5, so all the way at the bottom is Luna.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like it's not like they're awake in the day, I think. So that was the only thing I went on.
Yeah, I thought that was an unusual name for an otter. Number 4.
I thought it was an unusual name for an otter, but I put it high because an otter is an unusual pet to have. I figured someone who's going to have an otter is going to be out there with Luna.
One would think. Number 4, I'm internally disappointed that Nibbles was the 4th most popular, because that should be number 1. Nibbles. I love that name.
I got Nibbles there.
Now I have to have a cat named Nibbles. Dang it. Maybe I could have a goldfish named Nibbles.
How about a rabbit?
A rabbit.
Like that's the appropriate animal
like that.
to name Nibbles.
Number 3, Sandy. Sandy.
Nope. I know I got the next one wrong too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious. Which one do y'all think it is? Which one do y'all think it is out of the next 2?
Otto.
It is Otto. That's right.
Second. Yeah.
Otto is number 2, and Ollie the otter is number 1.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you guys lit up. Oh, you got one right? Which one?
Ollie.
Yeah. Steve, what about you?
I had 2 because I had Nibbles at 4 and I had Ollie at 1, but I got Luna and Otto and Sandy all over the place.
Okay, so that's 8 for Steve, 5 for Verla. Oh,
I think
Carla
so.
could take this. How many did you get?
No, I got 2. I had I thought Nibbles would be number 2 because like I would figure that a lot of otters would just bite.
Oh,
you can't really train them not to bite, so I went with number 2 for that.
Oh, I thought Nibbles was such a great name, and it disappointed me at number 4.
But when they bite, they're not nibbling. I mean, if it was something like, just
Hacker,
Savage or Maul,
Chomper,
Chomper,
Jaws.
I'd like to
Chomper
introduce
would be a good one.
I'd like to introduce you to my pet otter, Child Stealer. It doesn't roll off the tongue, though.
No.
All right, that is the Did You Know game presented by our friends at Game Toppers LLC. Remember, make your game nights a showstopper when you play on a Game Topper. All right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank Carla and ChatGPT for joining us tonight as we explored it. Carla, how can people reach you if they want more information about Reef and Ruins, which is out on Kickstarter right now and well-funded already? Still has a few days left to go.
Yeah, there's like 2 weeks. They can message me on the Kickstarter. I have Twitter at Weird Giraffes. I'm on Blue Sky at Weird Giraffe Games, and I'm on Facebook. Or they could just I have a Discord. That's probably the best way. It's at weirdgiraffegames.com/Discord. And we also talk about board games and stuff. So, who doesn't like board games?
Who doesn't like board games? What's coming up next for Weird Giraffe after you put this project to bed? Anything you can spoil? Any scoops?
I think it'll be a bigger game. It is a tile laying game where nothing fits together.
Ooh.
Some people hate it and want to flip the table, and some people just love it. It's one or the other. Like, you either love or you hate it.
I am totally intrigued by that.
We're intrigued.
Here's why. I have a selfish reason. Who among us, when you play a board game, a Euro style board game with lots of little pieces, who among us puts them all into nice little tiny rows, and who just kind of dumps a big pile of pieces?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always put them in nice tiny rows and I stack them. And even if somebody else doesn't stack theirs, I might have to stack them.
You might stack theirs. Steve, what about you?
Probably put them in little bowls.
Do you?
For I mean, you talking about my own supply? I'll stack my own supply, but on the table, I'll just have them in bowls or something.
Verla, you're a stacker also, or you're just a chunker? Yeah.
No.
So I am both. Sometimes I'll stack if I'm bored, but most of the time I'm just a chunker. And I've got a buddy that I play with, and he gets so annoyed. He will literally fix my pieces into nice little rows because he said, I just can't take it. I'm like, they're just pieces. Little meeples all over the place. Okay, so
I'm shocked that you enjoy making people's heads explode, BJ. That's so off-brand for you.
Now it's become a meme. I mean, I'm just gonna not even ever do it whenever he's there because I'm gonna make him fix it. So that intrigues me as a game because it's perfect for people that are just chunkers like me, right? They don't have to fit perfectly because life's not perfect anyway.
And every game is different because you're not gonna fit the pieces together the same way because they don't fit. So
I like it. All right, so check that out. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo, and our YouTube channel. It helps us to get all the word out about our upcoming shows. Next week, if we're lucky, we'll be playing Trekking the World 2nd edition from Underdog Games live on Twitch. You can check us out on twitch.tv/BoardGames, where we play your games live on TV. We have played many of Carla's games live on TV, including Reef and Ruins. And we actually might have done something that's never been done before. We played Reef and Ruins, me and Jared, and we had somebody from the chat crew play with us. We just took another sheet and we had it in the camera angle. And then he would watch us play. He would watch the dice. We'd tell him what it is. When it was his turn, Carla, he insisted he would roll the dice himself. So he had 3 dice at his house and he would roll them and tell us what the results were. And we just kind of fix it. So we actually played over the internet, 3 people. That's the beauty of this game, that you can play it with anybody anywhere. So catch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/BoardGameGumbo every other Tuesday night where we play your games live on Twitch. I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo. Almost said Daryl and Dumbo. BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I do want to thank Carla for coming in here. And until next time, laissez, bon temps, rouler.
Bye, all.
See you, friends.